Today I'm going to be addressing a comment that was made underneath my video titled, "Should I take him back after he hurt me?" And this comment goes like this: I am torn because I'm unable to forget some of the horrible things he did, and he refuses to discuss any past things as he just wants to move on from that. But I've got no closure or answers, so now I'm feeling resentful. First off, I want to tell you that absolutely right, you're feeling resentful because your needs are not getting met in this relationship. And that's what resentment is. It is a build-up of unmet needs. When a relationship is lopsided, we are going to feel resentful. But putting all that aside, let's talk about the fact that your person hurt you repeatedly. They betrayed your trust, but they don't want to go any further into talking about this with you. This is a problem because they have hurt you repeatedly and they have dumped this 8,000-pound weight on you, and they just want to go back to status quo. They want to forget about it and just not talk about it. I remember someone saying to me one time, "You're always living in the past." Okay, this is not about living in the past. This is about betrayal. And betrayal is one of the toughest emotional experiences we can have because it's a choice. This person made a choice to hurt. This person did this thing to us. And yes, they may have owned it and maybe taking a little bit of responsibility. And in the moment, there might have been this moment of, okay, let's just move on from this. But betrayals don't go away overnight. They don't go away just because you have one conversation. This is going to be a peeling away of the layers to return you back to trust with this person. And even though the self-healing journey requires that we do a lot of healing work ourselves, healing from our past traumas, healing our limiting beliefs, the list goes on. When it comes to betrayal in a romantic relationship or even just between two people, there are two people involved. And the person who perpetrated this emotional crime against you is required to help you heal it. And this means that when someone betrays us, if this requires 20 conversations a day, if this requires staying up till 3 a.m. discussing it, then this is what needs to happen. Because a person doesn't get to come into your life with a wrecking ball and smash your heart to smithereens and then stab it with a samurai sword and then say, "Yeah, I just don't want to talk about that. I just want to forget about that. Let's just leave that in the past."
No.
What you are requiring and requesting is completely normal and natural. And it's beautiful that you're willing to forgive this person or at least work towards forgiveness so that you can try to mend this relationship and to move forward. But you can't do this on your own. Your person is going to be required. Dr. Phil even says that if a person who is cheated wants to stay with the person that they cheated on, he said, strap in because you got a lot of freaking work ahead of you because it is this person's job to cultivate that trust again. So it is absolutely unfair and not okay in anybody's world when somebody comes in and says, "Yeah, I know I hurt you, but it's time to move on from that thing." You're going to move on when you're damn well good and ready to move on. And you will move on naturally and organically when your person repeatedly shows up to these conversations and answers those hard questions and sits in your sadness and your frustration and your anger. They did the thing and they need to sit in the aftermath of that thing. It is not for you to do alone. I've been in this position several times in my life, and it was extremely painful to me because not only did they not care enough about me or value the relationship enough to do the thing, then when I needed to heal from the thing, they didn't care enough about my healing from the thing because I was in relationships with takers. I was not in relationships with givers. Because when you're in relationship with a person who cares about you, they're going to own their shit and they're going to sit in it with you as long as possible. They're going to understand that this is not a paper cut. They're going to understand that a samurai sword annihilated your heart, and it's going to take some time to mend those wounds. And they're going to stay committed to this healing process. One of the most beautiful things that we can do in a relationship is to take responsibility for our behavior. And when it's something small, like you ate somebody's chocolate cake and you say, I'm so sorry, I ate your last piece of chocolate cake, I'll buy you another one. That ownership feels really balming and soothing because the person has taken full responsibility and we know that they get it. We know that they understand that they did something wrong. And likely in those small things, it's healed very quickly. But in these big things, it's going to take that continuous humility, compassion, understanding, and empathy over and over and over again until the person who has been emotionally victimized starts to heal. And this could be a fairly quick process, or this could be a long process. And for the perpetrator, no matter what it is, you've got to be willing to show up to this for your person. Resentment is the number one relationship killer above all else. Some people might think it's betrayal. Some people might think it's cheating, but it's not. To be frank, I have seen tons of relationships actually not only heal from betrayal and cheating, but become even better because of it. Because both sides of the equation were willing to go deep, were willing to work on the causes so that they could move forward and heal this relationship. And their relationship actually flourished afterwards. But unless or until you have two people that are willing to do this, unfortunately, the resentment is likely to keep growing and eventually the relationship will fracture. But the good news is, you guys, when we have a partner that repeatedly shows up for that thing that they did each time in that humble space, and they meet us where we are at emotionally, and they stay humble and they stay in ownership, eventually the conversations get further and further apart as the victimized person begins to heal, and to the point where the conversation really doesn't even need to happen again. For those of you who are going through this, I know this is hard. My heart goes out to you, but you're not wrong. You're not wrong in wanting your questions answered. You're not wrong because you want to revisit the scene, the scenario, the situation, because your heart is not healed yet. This is part of the healing journey between two people when one has betrayed the other person. So please know going forward that your assessment of this situation is correct. And I highly recommend that you bring your person in, you start this video over again, and you have them listen to it with you. Because getting the two of you on the same page might be the exact thing that your relationship needs or that your perpetrator needs. Yes, I'm calling you a perpetrator. That person needs to see how this is impacting you, and the only way that is going to heal your relationship. If you are interested in reclaiming your personal power and true value, then I highly recommend that you read my book, The Recovering People Pleaser, a spiritual guide to reclaim your true worth and attract the love you deserve. This is a self-healing guide that is going to help you heal your inner world so that you can attract and create a better outer world. And if you're interested in assessing how well you are currently loving yourself, then I highly recommend you jump over to my website and you download my revolutionary self-love quiz. And you can find that link here. It's really fun to take this quiz and to assess exactly where you're at on your journey. It's about a 5 to 7 minute quiz and you get your results right away. And if you would like to further explore your healing journey, then I highly recommend this video right here. And until next time, everybody, remember, you matter. Now go love yourself.